Hello and welcome to Thursday Night Live. I'm your host, Dr. Rita Louise, and thank you for tuning into the show tonight. So I have to tell you, I have been feverishly researching a new topic having to do with alternative health and Google, and have produced an 18-page document that I am getting very close to releasing as a series of articles. Those articles will be available on Substack, and I'll share it like on Facebook and Twitter and all those channels when I start posting it. But I thought I would share part of it with you just so you can kind of get an idea where I'm going. Okay, so this is like halfway through the article. The section, the tentative title of the article is Google's Hidden War on Alternative Health. And this section is called The Big Pharma Scam. Now, hopefully, this won't get me a strike on YouTube. We'll see. We'll see. I don't think I say anything they won't like too much, other than Google. Anyway, so here we go. Plants, including its leaves and roots, vines, and fungi, form the basis of natural traditional folk medicine around the world. Their efficacy is undisputed. The use of therapeutic botanicals goes back thousands of years. Direct evidence of plants being used for treatment and prevention of disease dates back some 5,000 years. Texts including the Sumerian treatise of medical diagnosis and prognosis, the 12th dynasty Egyptian Khan papyrus, the Chinese, the Yellow Emperor's Inner Classics are the oldest surviving medical texts in the world. These health treatises record well understood treatment modalities. The origin of these health protocols date back even further into our distant past. The earliest subjective evidence supporting the practice of early medical intervention surprisingly goes back 50,000 years. 50,000 years. The study of Neanderthal skeletal remains discovered in the El Cedrón cave in northern Spain reveals traces of medicinal herbs in the dental tartar of several of the individuals recovered. So in their dental plaque. One particularly intriguing skeleton found was of a teenage boy who suffered from a dental abscess as well as a parasitic infection, which would have led to chronic diarrhea. Studies of his dental tartar revealed traces of the poplar tree, which is rich in celiac acid, a natural form of aspirin. The celiac acid this plant contained is known to reduce pain, a wise herbal choice for this young man. This plant matter was not found in the teeth of any of the other skeletal remains. The esteem placed plants and other natural remedies held in the world's pharmacopoeia changed drastically in the latter part of the 19th and early 20th century with the development of the first pharmacologically active plant-derived compound, morphine. The ability to separate the active compound, morphine, from its natural predecessor, opium, forever changed the landscape of medicine and therapeutics. The modern-day pharmaceuticals we are prescribed, according to health experts, are made up of complex chemical compounds created in a lab. Here, natural and synthetic ingredients are manipulated to produce a potent compound that emulates a naturally occurring substance. They are designed to have an amplified effect. They are formulated to suppress undesirable symptoms quickly. When we think of the development of prescription medications, we often envision people in white lab coats coming up with a new and novel chemical formulation to address our health concerns. Would it surprise you to know that over 80% of the drugs offered today were first identified or isolated from known herbal remedies? Even publications such as PubMed are quick to let you know, in order to save time and money, drug manufacturers had turned their attention to herbal medicines as a starting point for new drug development. They point to the long and successful history of traditional remedies as evidence for their efficacy. They contend The information is readily available for modern scientific research on drug. These same online journals also admit to the effectiveness of plants and other botanical remedies as a means of disease prevention and health maintenance, pointing to these substances rarely carry a low level of adverse reactions. This is not the same outcome as their synthetic counterparts. And this is from a PubMed article. About 8% of hospital admissions in the United States are due to adverse or side effects from synthetic drugs. Approximately 100,000 people each year die due to these toxicities. It means that the killed people in the US by pharmacological drugs are at least 3 times more than killed by drunken drivers. Each year, also, thousands of people die from supposedly safe over the counter drugs. Deaths or hospitalizations due to herbs are so rare they are hard to find. Plant-based medicines and traditional remedies, according to many alternative healthcare providers, offer a safer and gentler alternative to traditional drug therapy. They work slower than their pharmaceutical counterparts. They endeavor to heal the underlying issues by aiding the body's own healing process instead of just masking symptoms. Many of these same practitioners emphasize the side effects and long-term impact of taking synthetic pharmacological drugs as a cause for concern. Evidence-based medicine doctors, which is most doctors, complain there's not enough evidence to support most alternative therapies. Most alternative therapies come from traditional sources and have been used for centuries. Their efficacy has been attested to through thousands of years of use with successful results. That should count for something. Why throw out the baby with the bathwater? It seems hypocritical to regulate the cures of our past to sheer quackery. Perhaps we can learn a lesson from the saga of red rice yeast. A traditional Chinese remedy, red yeast rice, is a rice that has been cultured in the, I'm not even going to try to say it, in a certain kind of yeast. It has long been used to improve circulation, treat indigestion, and reduce diarrhea. In recent years, it has come under a cloud of controversy because one of the chemical compounds found in red yeast rice is a substance called monocolin K. Monocolin K was identified as being able to help reduce cholesterol levels in the 70s by the drug company Merck. It was extracted from a different kind of yeast, totally different kind of yeast, fungus. They received FDA approval for their cholesterol-fighting drug, lovastatin, and brought it to market. 1997 saw the release of a dietary supplement called colistin, manufactured by Pharmanex. This product contained a powdered form of red yeast rice and was marketed to U.S. buyers as a cholesterol-lowering aid. This is when the games began. A battle between Merck, Pharmanex, and the FDA ensued. Merck insisted they own the rights to the ingredients of lovastatin, monocolin K, the plant-based extract. In the end, after a number of legal battles, actions were taken against the producers and distributors of products that contain naturally occurring high levels of monocolin K. The FDA's rationale was due to the high levels of monocolin K, which matched the concentration found in Merck's lovastatin. These manufacturers were selling an unapproved drug over the counter. Putting this in a different perspective, the action taken by the FDA on Merck's behalf would be likened to banning oranges and orange juice because a pharmaceutical company claimed to own a patent on vitamin C. The crackdown on alternative health sites also saw a scourging of companies who produce vitamins, minerals, and nutritional supplements. Making claims a supplement can alleviate a health concern was viewed by Google as providing harmful, information, thus garnering them a poorer search engine position. It only takes a quick search on Amazon to reveal the availability of supplements like red yeast rice. Some of the pages indicate the product can be used to help lower cholesterol levels, even though some of the active ingredients, monocolin K, is extremely low or non existent. Wouldn't that be a false or misleading claim? And so this is just kind of going along with the article. So I ask again, why some and not others? How can a website like Amazon, whose pages are littered with health related products and services plus health related claims, survive? Isn't Amazon, although perhaps indirectly offering advice that might impact an individual's safety, which is tied up with the whole Google thing, which is why this thing is 18 pages long. Anyway, I think this has just been a really interesting subject to investigate. I've been hot on the trail, looking at the hypocrisy of what goes on with Google search engine and alternative healthcare providers and how they've been diminished in search rankings if you offer any kind of insights or advice. Anyway, so when I start dropping this article, I'll let you know. I'll let you know. But I am on Substack. I am at Dr. Rita Louise, all one word, on Substack. I haven't added that to my little list, which I'll put up in a second. But if you have any comments or feedback, I'm all ears. I'm telling you, I've been hot on this topic. All right. So before we move on, as you know, you can go to my website, soulhealer.com, and set up a time for a private consultation. Maybe you need a health reading. Maybe there's a problem in your relationship, an issue at work. You need to get some guidance and insight into how to navigate your life easier. Stop by my site, soulhealer.com. If you are watching this show in a rerun form or a pre-recorded form and you want to participate in the live show, the easiest way to do it is to go to my YouTube channel. I mean, unless they have taken me down, which is Just Energy Radio on YouTube. That's Just Energy Radio on YouTube, 7 p.m. Central. Click the live link and it will put you into the chat. And then before I go, and I'm just going to go ahead and add this right now, if you feel like you're getting value from the show, if you get a reading a little bit later on and it's really resonating with you, or even if it's not resonating with you, but you really super like me, I would love it if you put a little something, something, something in my tip jar. That would be awesome. And I was saying about my social media. This is a list of my different social media: YouTube, Facebook, Rumble, BitChute, Twitter, and now Substack. And I have to tell you, I'm really liking Substack. A lot of very holistic, open-minded people, or at least those are the ones that are coming across my feed. Really, really, really been enjoying it. Anyway, all right, guys, I'm going to change over to the other screen, say hi to people, and start reading away. So Unar's up first. She says, yay, nice to be here. Can you pick a number for me? Okay, so Unar, I need to clear these cards first because I have not done that yet. So let me do that. And I'm going to give you a number 1 today because they'll be all nice and cleared. But I'm not doing it yet because I'm still clearing. Okay, Unar, this one's for you. All right. And this is your card for today. Okay, so Unar, I am feeling like there might be like a little bit of trouble in paradise. I feel like you are feeling a bit disjointed and want to feel more whole, more connected with yourself. I do get the impression that like you've really been kind of in your head and not really in your body. I'm feeling like you're not super grounded right now. And so if you could do things to work on your grounding, maybe do some mindfulness techniques to help bring you back into your body, bring you back into the present moment. I feel like this static that you're feeling will dissipate and you'll feel a lot better. Okay? All right. And it's Amy. Hey, Amy. And Master Player Radio says, evening number 3, please. So a double cheeseburger with a large fry and a Diet Coke. Sorry, bad joke. Okay. All right, that's your card for today. Okay, so Master Player, I just am sensing like some aggravation, frustration in your space, like you're kind of pissed off. And I was just looking at that because I feel like that energy is being directed, and I'm going to say at a person. Um, and I'm going to say something a little mean, but I'm just going to say it anyway. I feel like there's a little bit of ego in play. Like you have your requirements, your expectations, et cetera, and you're imposing them on this person. Um, if you don't like them, release them from your space. Um, but I don't feel like this other person is doing anything intentionally to you, but you're reacting to it. So maybe a conversation can happen that says, hey, this really bothers me. And that might resolve it. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of choices that you can make based on this whole thing. But I feel like, what you want and what your expectations of the situation are compared to this other person they're not on the same page. Right? All right. Hello, Christine. I have a reading number 2, please. You sure can. And as always, if what I'm saying is resonating with you, please put a note down below. I would love to hear back from you. 2. Okay, 2. All right. So, Christine, this is your card for today. Interesting. So, Christine, usually this card, it's got kind of like a funky picture on it. But when I look at your energy, I feel like you have kind of, I'm going to say, energetically emerged from a situation that was uncomfortable and not fun for you. There's kind of like the feeling of you being a bit stuck. But I feel like all of that, and I'm going to say very recently, has shifted. I feel like the air is clearing. I feel like there's more releasing that still needs to happen. So if you're not totally noticing it, it is pretty early in this stage. But it feels good to me, and so maybe take a couple of nice deep breaths and own the shift and allow it to come in more fully. Okay? Right. And it's Ricky. Good evening and happy Thursday to you. Dr. Rita, may I have a number 1 reading? Thank you so much. You sure can. Uh-oh, Ricky. Burr, burr, burr. So I'm seeing a couple of new faces here, new names. And so when these cards come up, these are called mask cards, and they usually identify where there's an energy that's stuck or not moving, or there's some denial in your space. There's something going on that's blocked. And I will usually pull cards until I feel like the energy has cleared, and I'm okay with this. Okay, so this is the next card. So at least you didn't have like 50 cards that I pulled. So, Ricky, I get the impression that there's a decision that you need to make or you have been trying to make. I feel like you already know what the answer is. You already know, but I feel like you don't really want to, you don't like that choice. And so you're kind of blocking it or not paying attention to it or um, disavowing it. And what I would like to suggest to you is to say, okay, this is what keeps coming up. And I need to just own it because that's spirit communicating to me. And even if it's a hard choice, even if it's a yucky choice, even if it's a choice you really don't want to do, you need to surrender to it and just do it. Just do it. All right. Lady Spitfire. Hi, Lady Spitfire. Can I have a number one, please? You sure can. All right, and this is your card for today. So, Lady Spitfire, I get the impression that you've been doing some personal deep diving recently. I feel like you have been very open to looking inside. I feel like even that you recognize that even if you see something painful, that it's still good and there's healing tied to it. I feel like you're just moving forward and moving into that inner void um, because you know that's the place that you need to go. And I feel like, I don't know, the biggest part that I'm getting is that there is this recognition that it's important for me to stay on this path and I am going to travel this path fearlessly and just be open to whatever comes up and whatever happens. And so the word I'm going to put there is you have surrendered to this change and to this transformation. And when we do, it just makes life be a whole lot better and a whole lot easier. So good job. Good job. ERRT Radio, happy Thursday to you too. And then Chronicus. Got no phonics skills, sorry. Day, and I don't have my glasses on either. Daylight, inexplicable. The inexplicable person. Nice to see you too. Okay. ERRT Radio, can I have a reading number 3? You sure can. All right. And this is your card for today. Interesting. So ERRT Radio, one of the things that you're showing me is so I don't know if this is a physical thing, or an emotional thing. It feels like what's coming up is more emotional, but again, I feel like there could be a physical aspect to it that just is saying to me, I'm tired. I'm tired of fighting. I'm tired of trying. I'm just tired. And not in a I'm depressed kind of way, but just in a I've used so much of my energy that I don't really have any more to give. So today's Thursday, tomorrow's Friday, take this weekend and do nice things for yourself. Be loving to yourself. It can really use for you to deposit some money back into your personal bank account. All right, and they want me to say throw one more thing out, so I feel like there's this emotional tired piece. But if what you're doing, if what you're expending all of this energy on is not bringing you satisfaction, if it's not enlivening you and making you feel good in while you're doing it, then maybe you need to reconsider what you're doing and change course. And I'm not saying that you have to, but it's something that you might want to consider, because I just am feeling like um, you're tired and you need a break. But I'm also feeling like there's other drains on you that don't necessarily need to be there, but you can make a different choice. Okay. Amy would like a reading. And number two, please. You sure can, Amy. All right. And Amy, this is your card for today. Boy, is everybody just really kind of like tired and cranky about being tired today? So, Amy, you're just showing me that it's like your brain is tired. You've been thinking way too much. Um, Something I would like to suggest is maybe taking some of the thoughts that are running through your head and putting them down on a piece of paper. Um, because once we take them out of our mind and we make a list or something like that, we don't have to think about it. We don't have to like remind ourselves to remember to go do these things, because we can just look at the paper and it will help slow things down. Um, so what they said to me was, well, I feel like the town crier. So it's not even just your stuff that you're like having to remember and having to not necessarily take care of, but be the impetus of movement and forward motion. Um, but I feel like, it's all in your head, and maybe again putting it down on a piece of paper, get Google Calendar, put everybody on Google Calendar so that they can get the information as well, or you can put information on their calendar so that they can take care of it themselves instead of you reminding them and nagging them. I think it might be better and easier for you. So hope that helps. Let me know. Let me know. All right, so Joe's here. Hey, Miss Joe. Oh my God. Well, I scrolled down so I could read, and Deb actually asked for a reading. But Deb, I'm going to give Joe a reading because I don't know where she's going to end up in this pile. So, Joe, I'm going to give you a reading, and I'm going to give you a number 3. So, haha, you're going to get a reading whether you want it or not. And Deb, you were going to get a reading whether you wanted it or not, too. But oh, well, you already asked for one. So you must have been getting my psychic vibe of like, Deb's getting a reading tonight. All right, Miss Joe. This is your card for today. So, Joe, you're showing me this picture of like this jailbreak that you just want to get out and escape and run away. I feel like the situation that you're in right now really kind of interferes with your groove. It interferes with you. I feel like you're used to being up and around and about and out. And this situation is just frustrating. It's just frustrating. Um, now that the weather has kind of changed a bit, I feel like even if you could just go outside and just sit in the sun, and it would make you feel a whole lot better. Um, I just get the impression that you do better when you get out, and so even if it's just sitting on a patio or porch or whatever and getting some sun on you, I feel like that will help boost your emotions, boost you on the inside. All righty. All right. So let's see. So Debbie said she just texted me. Well, Deb, how can I answer a text if I'm on here? All right. I don't see your text, but anyway. Oh, maybe you're talking about Joe. Anyway, Debbie wants a reading. Woohoo! Deb wants a reading. Okay, Deb, let's pick a good one for you. It wants to be this one. Okay, this is a good one. All right, that's your card for today. So, what you're sharing with me is there's a part of you that just really wants to be free. Maybe you need to do a jailbreak with Joe. Maybe that'll be good for both of you. I mean, I feel like you're wanting to be free comes from a different kind of place. Um, I feel like for you, wanting to be free really comes tied to wanting to feel unburdened. And wanting to feel whole and peaceful now. You know, and I'm coming back to that whole surrender thing where there's a little bit of kind of victim energy sitting in there, you know, like, oh me, oh I gotta do this. So I'm just saying it out loud to raise your awareness to that little piece because I feel like it's getting in your way of your ability to surrender to what's going on. All right. So ERRT Radio says, I was first on my chat all by myself. Marco, he's here. He says, speaking of hair, Rita, your hair is fab. I get my hair done tomorrow, Marco, so I'll have like newish hair tomorrow. All right, let's see. Ricky. Hey, Ricky. It is so nice seeing you here. Wow, thank you for tuning into the show. If you want to get a reading, just say, I would like a reading and pick a number between 1 and 3, and I'll like take care of it. Oh my God. And Mark Eddy. Hey, Mark Eddy. I need to talk to you about some stuff. And Denise Smith. Wow. It's like all kinds of good people. Hi, Denise. Again, if you want a reading, say you want a reading, put in the number 1 through 3, and that's how many times I'll shuffle. All right, Veronica. Amy says Food and Drug Administration also controls what's in our food, not just pharmaceuticals. They just approve jabs for chickens. Well, and my piece isn't really, I mean, it's about the FDA, but really it's about Google and websites and search engine placement about alternative health sites. Again, it's 18 pages long, and it took me like 3 days to write. It just was like, psh, okay. Marco says, can you put the glasses back on, please? So see, I got a different pair. Well, I got my like living room pair. Where's the other pair? Okay, so here, let's do a survey. So we have my original ones, which are the pink frame ones from the dollar store. And then there are these black frame ones. You know, these kind of have a cooler side on them than these. These are kind of boring. So black or pink. Dirty pink at that. Okay. All right, let's see. Hey, Alice. Hello from El Paso. Hey, Alice. Welcome to the show. All right. Alice said, reading please, number 1. You sure can. All right, Alice, and that's your card for today. So, Alice, one of the things that you're showing me is I feel like you have really been working on, and the way I'm going to say this, in listening to yourself, listening to your spiritual guidance. I feel like your trust in what you're receiving is okay, not super great. I feel like you're really working on acknowledging and recognizing when that communication comes through. Then it's just really a matter of time before you start acting on it without arguing with it too much. So I feel like you're in a really good place right now as far as moving forward your own with your own stuff. And this is just kind of a general commentary to everyone. When you start working on paying attention to your inner guidance, the first step is to just notice it, to become mindful of it. And so let's say, and this is the really bad example I always give, is if in the morning you wake up and you're like, oh, maybe I should take a sweater with me, but you look outside and it's gorgeous out and you don't. And then you end up going somewhere and it's freezing, and inside you're going, God, I should have listened to myself. It's like, yeah, you should have listened to yourself, but it shouldn't be like a beat up moment. It should be like, oh, I was getting some guidance at 7 o'clock in the morning. Not that it's always going to be at 7 o'clock in the morning, but pay attention to the character of it. Pay attention to how you're receiving that information, because it's just by acknowledging it and acknowledging it that you'll just sit there and go, oh, well, what about this? And you'll act on it because you've just had so much experience in not acting on it and suffering the consequences of your inaction. Okay? All right. All right. Veronica wants a number 3. All right, Veronica, let's see what they have to say for you today. All right, that's your card for today. So, Veronica, it's really kind of interesting. I just get the impression that you, and excuse my French, everybody, but you're having a, like, I really don't give a shit kind of day. And, the wall can come tumbling down, and this can happen, and that can happen, and that can happen. And instead of worrying about it, you're like, whatever. Really good space to be in. It is a space of total surrender, even though it feels like you don't care, but you do care. It's just you don't care about that stuff because in the big picture of things, it's unimportant. And I think for me, I would rather be in that, like, whatever space than in the chronic OCD, my brain is on fire, worried space. So enjoy it. Enjoy it. Okay. And then Veronica says to Amy, hoping RFK Jr. will stop jabs in chicken. Yeah, well, yeah. All right, Master Player says, a spot on topic you gave me just now. Okay, Master Player, thank you. And the Master Player says, hopefully that will change next week. Master Player, when I do these little mini readings, I'm looking at where your energy is right now in this moment. So you could have had a great day all day, and then 5 minutes before the show, you had a disagreement with someone, or the dog pooped on the kitchen floor, or something happened and it shifts your energy. And so I'm not going to be reading where you were in the morning. I'm going to be reading where you are right now. And as you know, our energy moves and shifts and changes all the time. And so I'm going to make the assumption that it'll be different next week. All right. Ricky says thanks. Christine says thank you. Very on point as always. Oh, and the master player says, I've been telling him to lay low even more until his heart condition can be fixed. Lay low, dude. Oh, hey, Judith. Yeah, I mean, well, one, I barely speak English if it's a complicated word. And in Spanish, like, can't even pronounce it. Hey. I'm glad that you came to the show. I'm hoping you're enjoying it. You need to get a reading, girl. Okay, so Unar says, I will have to listen again to my reading after the show. I have to think about that one. I love you. Always give good advice. You are so welcome, Unar. Uh, ERRT Radio says, thank you, Dr. Rita. I am tired, but I think it is to do with my health issue. You know, and I'm kind of going back to what I said a couple of weeks ago about old stuff. All right, I'm going to give you a follow up ERRT radio because, all right, a couple of weeks ago, I talked about this old energy that was just hidden kind of behind a wall. And I just want to look at that because when I look at that energy, I don't feel the wall anymore. You know, so whatever that emotional energy was that has been trapped for years and years and years and years and years, and a lot of denial around it, and a lot of suppression, and you know, it's back there. It's coming out. Um, be kind to it. Be patient with it. Allow it to do what it needs to do. You know, I don't know. I'm not sure if like journaling would help support this. I'm not talking about the physical part, but I feel like there's definitely emotional pieces or somatic pieces that are tied to this that might be good to explore. Um, yeah, anything. So Denise says, excellent topic today, Dr. Rita. I agree that Google supports the establishment narrative. They no doubt consider alternative help, info, and remedies to be misinformation, which is what my whole article is about. Debbie says, thank you. Always spot on. Where am I? Hey, Nancy. Nice to see you. And then Amy says, reading spot on. Something again, great advice. Calendar might work well. Heads up to tip jar. So Amy's going to the tip jar, but that doesn't mean you can't go to the tip jar too by going to soulhealer.com/live. That's soulhealer.com/live. And there's a link that you could use for PayPal, or there are shopping carts set up in there where you can pay with a credit card or whatever. Anyway. Veronica says, I'm not familiar, but we'll check. Okay. That's just. So Marco is going for the black glasses, please. Veronica wants pink. Joe says, thanks so much for the insightful reading for me tonight. Truly appreciate it. Joe, anytime. Ricky says, black glasses look awesome. Thank you, Ricky. Alice says, thanks, Rita, for my reading, and black glasses for me. I didn't know we were taking, well, I guess we are taking a poll because I did say that. All right, lots of commentary. ERT Radio says, wow, interesting. And I'm serious. Spend some time, even with your hands over your heart, and feel into that energy and say hello to your heart. Say hello to your heart chakra. You know, there's a Dr. Shah. He's an Asian guy. And one of his techniques is for you to just say hello to your organs you know, so it's like, you know, you put your hands on your liver and you say hello to your liver and you put like a little smiley face on. It's like, hey, liver, you know, hey, kidneys. You can do that. You can send good energy. You can, one, ask it, where's its happy face today, to see where you're metering out, and then shift it and put a happy face in there, because that's just going to set the intention of sending positive energy into that organ. Okay, Marco says, Rita is awesome. Please upvote sub. Okay, so I'm at the bottom of the list, so I am going to go back to this. You know, so there's the tip jar, which I would really appreciate, you know, but also if you could go to any of my social media stuff, like, subscribe, set up notifications. So I'm Just Energy Radio on YouTube. I'm Dr. Rita Louise Live on Facebook, Psychic Doc on Rumble, Dr. Rita Louise on BitChute, Dr. Rita Louise on Twitter, and then Substack, which is Dr. Rita Louise. The ones that I post to the most are on Facebook, Dr. Rita Louise Live, and Twitter at this point, Dr. Rita Louise, and then the Substack, which again, I'm really liking, even though I've only been there a couple of weeks, but a very different crowd than Twitter. I'm not a big fan of Twitters, but you know, you do what you have to do. But again, follow me, like, subscribe, whatever they want you to do, whatever word they want you to use those words. And, you know, I would love it, you guys, if you would share this show with people you know that maybe could get value from the message that I have or the insights, or maybe they would want to come and get a reading too and hang out with us, because we are a really awesome group. And you guys have really gotten to know each other, and I love that part. So yeah, excellent. All right, so let's see. So Marco says, have your hairdresser add a tad more red. So I was told no more red because it fades. Not that I dye my hair. This is my natural hair color. Yeah, Marco, insinuating that I might dye my hair. Oh my God. Oh yeah, that's cool. Thanks for the reminder. Ricky posted a rare parade of all 7 planets will be across the night sky all this week. So that's pretty cool. ERRT Radio says, I finally got over 500 followers on X. Sweet. Amy said, thank you, Rita Louise. Congrats. Anyway, guys, it's a little bit early, but it's a little bit early, but I'm done doing all my sessions, and I'm going to go. I'm just going to go. So anyway, so as always, if, oops, let's do this first. Bye, Amy. You know, if you would like to set up a time for a private consultation, please go by my webpage, soulhealer.com. And also, if you are interested in becoming a medical intuitive counselor, or energy medicine practitioner, certified energy medicine practitioner, please go to my website, appliedenergeticsinstitute.com, and download the free 50-page Jumpstart Your Intuition Guide. You know, and I need to get images of those things and put them on here so I have them. You know, also on my website, soulhealer.com, now that alternative health is kind of a cool thing. One of the things, okay, so you can get the Jumpstart Your Intuition Guide from the Soul Healer page, but I have another free download, which is called Nature's Pharmacy. And it's an ebook that has over 125 herbs and 50 nutritional supplements. And it talks about the properties of different herbs. So let's say you need a decongestant, you know, and that's one of the categories in the actions of the herbs. And so you look up decongestant, and it has a list of the different herbs that are decongestant herbs that are also in the book. So it is a pretty good cross-reference to use. Anyway, Nature's Pharmacy, Jumpstart Your Intuition, both on the Soul Healer site, because you're going to go there because you're going to set up a time for a private consultation with me, of course. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go. Thank you all for tuning. Oh, wait, there's a bunch of comments. Let me just kind of like look at this. All right. Dawn came. I didn't even see Dawn. You just got here. All right. So, Dawn, I'm going to give you a number 1, and then I'm out of here. All right, Dawn, this is your card for today. See, I must love you, Dawn, because I'm like not going, and I'm going to give you a reading instead. So, Dawn, this is interesting. I think last week I was talking about where you were kind of going back and forth in your energy. And I just feel like that you feel much more solid now, much more grounded now. I feel like you feel like you have a direction or a purpose. Um, I just am really liking the energy around you. Um, and I just want you to acknowledge that is your energy. It's not fake energy. That's you. That's you. Own it. Be it. Live it. All right. All right, Ohura, you guys, you're not supposed to come in the last 10 minutes. All right, Ohura, number 1. All right, that's your card for today. So, Hora, I just am feeling like you're kind of having like a bad inner critic day. You know, as I will usually say, you're having a bad brain day. Um, I just want to say hello to that and acknowledge it. You know, sometimes we get so caught up in our own thoughts that it's hard to make a mental shift. You know, but sometimes when somebody points it out to us, it's like, oh, and then we can. So I just want to say that to you. Um, you know, I feel like using some mindfulness technique, you know, grounding, going for a walk, exercising, tapping, breathing, any one of those things will help bring you back into the present moment. Um, I also want to say, because I'm feeling like you're a little bit deep in, that sometimes you just have to ride it out a little bit, so that you can get to a place where you can use one of those techniques to help you be whole again. In the meantime, no beating yourself up. No beating yourself up. Not allowed. Okay. All right. All right, guys. So now I'm going to do this again. See, this is what happens when I have to like come back. All right. So again, soulhealer.com. Download your Jumpstart Your Intuition as well as your Nature's Pharmacy. Share this show with your friends. And I will be back again next week. Till then, I'm Dr. Rita Louise. This is Thursday Night Live. Be blessed.